A Thanksgiving tragedy. The Highway Patrol says 4 teenagers died in a crash west of Highlandville overnight. Troopers say speed may have played a role. We're told 8 people were riding in a pickup when it slammed into a tree along Pleasant View Road south of Highway O just before 11 o'clock last night. Here's what we know about the victims. The driver, 17-year-old Landon Potts, and passengers Logan Middleton and Cody Uber were all from Nixa. The 4th victim, Lance Porterfield, we're told was from Sparta. All 3 passengers who died were 19 years old. 2 other passengers are being treated for serious injuries and are hospitalized at this hour. The other 2 refused treatment for minor injuries. We know 3 of the 4 survivors were the only ones wearing seatbelts in that pickup truck. The Stone County coroner says the victims all died at the scene. A medical helicopter responding to that crash also ran into some problems. The chopper was damaged, but the crew on board was not hurt. The FAA is investigating. Slick roads are to blame for a crash that killed an 11-year-old boy east of Lebanon. Troopers say Tyler Green died when the SUV he was riding in spun out of control on Highway 32 and slid in front of a car yesterday morning. Both drivers suffered serious injuries. More than 300,000 people are waking up in the dark in New England after a winter storm hit the northeast region of the U.S. The wintry mix of snow and rain, as you can obviously see, hampered some holiday travel plans, grounding hundreds of flights yesterday and making for treacherous driving conditions. Protests continued on the West Coast overnight after the grand jury's decision not to indict Officer Darren Wilson in the shooting death of Michael Brown. Most have been peaceful, but in Oakland, California, a different story there. Crowds set fires, vandalized cars, and smashed in-store windows. There were also groups of peaceful protesters who had a message for those acting out violently. The Oakland Police Department is reporting 35 people were arrested in connection to the protests for a number of crimes. People in the Ferguson area are enjoying a more peaceful atmosphere this Thanksgiving morning. Scattered demonstrations were held overnight, but there were no reports of major confrontations with police or serious damage to property. More than 2,000 members of the National Guard are on watch this Thanksgiving morning in that St. Louis suburb. It's almost time for the 88th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This year's parade will feature 27 floats, a dozen marching bands, 1,000 clowns, and of course 16 of those popular giant character balloons. There are 6 new ones this year, including Thomas the Tank Engine and the Red Power Ranger. You can watch the parade right here on KY3. It gets rolling at 9 o'clock this morning in a couple hours. Lots of traffic expected on the roads over the holiday weekend. Tomorrow, Black Friday, the big shopping blitz. MoDOT is working to keep the traffic moving along. Someone will be watching the timing on those traffic signals at major shopping centers, including the Battlefield Mall in Springfield and the